Illumination's migration. It's a family story. Obviously, that's obvious. This film centers around a family of ducks whose patriarch is contemplating the dangers of life. And so, instead of wanting to migrate as all other birds do during this cold time of the year, he feels as though the safest place for him and his family is home. And thus, they go out on this adventure after he gets some positive peer pressure from his uncle, who's well of age, played by Danny DeVito. And they go out on this adventure in order to migrate from their home to Jamaica. And throughout this story, it's a growing coming of age story. He finds or discovers the qualities needed to be a successful father through his adventures. And it's a very, very nice story to be told. I left the theater feeling a tingle inside of me. I really saw the story being told. It's a coming of age story wrapped up into this plot. It's something that you definitely can connect with. I really you see this character in the beginning of the film, this Papa Duck. He's one way. He has this kind of disposition, and throughout the film, throughout growth and throughout circumstances and the challenges that they meet along this adventure of the migration, really good, positive, outstanding growth from the father. Focuses on the marriage of the two ducks, Mama Duck and Papa Duck, and being able to see just their story, their journey, gives you a nice story arc, nice plausibility. Danny DeVito is the eldest uncle, and Danny DeVito, anything this man coughs on turns to gold. He plays the character well, nothing too crazy, nothing that's going to put you in a moment of a sheer and utter, oh my goodness, that was just phenomenal. But it's Danny DeVito, and we know how Danny DeVito gets down. Particularly, though, in this film, you're going to find that you connect with it because of the high stakes. When you are a family man, or if you're someone who has kids, your priority in life is to protect your children. And there is a nice twist on how this father feels as though he needs to protect his children. Because instinctively, ducks, like every other bird, have to migrate. And so the fact that they are having challenges with migration really adds to what's plausible in just everyday life. There is entertainment that you'll find in this film, specifically because of the humorous nature of ducks. It was a nice work of genius for Illumination Studios to pick ducks as the main characters or the main animals of this film because of just how entertaining ducks are. For example, in the movie, it's made mention ducks are loved to be watched in the park by older ones. And it's true. For some reason, we are drawn to ducks. We just love them. And the movie carries that entertainment. You love ducks. You're going to love them. There was a nice theme that was driven in this film. It wasn't lost. You understood where they were going from the beginning of the film towards the end of the film. You're not lost, as it were. You're not left there looking confused. It adds sense to the film. There were moments where I'm like, okay, who's going to be the villain of this film? How is it going to connect to the theme of the film, which is overall the migration and the adventure of this film? And I wasn't left with any unanswered questions as the film progressed. Runtime is 1 hour 31 minutes, and it can be difficult sometimes for studios to cultivate that theme in just a short amount of time, but Illuminations did it well. It really performed well in that aspect. Now, focusing on the actors, when I found out that Awkwafina was in this film, I'm like, dag, do I really want to sit in a cartoon animation of hearing Awkwafina's distinctive, loud voice? And she had a very, very significant part in the film, very, very vital to the adventure of the family of ducks, but it did not overshadow the entire production of the film, and that's great. That's exactly what you want to see. It was a nice blend of ingredients. So Aquafina comes in, she plays the gangster urban hood animal in this film, and it was very funny. I thought it was very funny, even just the way the animal was depicted at this point of the adventure, and crucial to the father duck finding that growth throughout the scenes that Aquafina is in, etc. Very very nice. It was that was good. I enjoyed also Elizabeth Banks, very motherly. She really drives the motherly role of this film. There were moments when I laughed a lot, seeing the way the cast interacted with one another. That was humorous. We know that Kamal Nanjiani comes from the Eternals from Marvel, so seeing him in a film like this, a family film, really made it all that more homey, brought it all that more close to home. When you are an actor trying to get your wings wet, as it were, throughout your career, you want to dive into different types of movies, animations, etc. And he did a nice job. He did a very nice job as the Papa Duck. Enjoyed seeing him. There were moments that I will say the dialogue had me laughing a lot. It did drive a nice storytelling, great context, and I'm not going to say that there are points in this movie or things that you're necessarily going to quote with your friends. Like, it's not going to be any, marvelous quotes that you're going to want to repeat and exchange over jokes or reminiscing of the film. But it's more so the emotional dialogue that really drives the heart, that really had me feeling good after leaving the theater, feeling built up. Visually, the film was really good visually. We're talking about a cartoon, and so most of the film takes place in the sky. There's a lot of diving, there's a lot of swooping through clouds, there's a lot of scenes in which these ducks are traveling because they're migrating. So I was particularly interested in how they developed those scenes. That's where most of your movie is taking place. They have to be spot on. That there wasn't anything that was in a disarray for me when it came to that. And then the film paced so well. There was just nice pace. There was a nice drag. It was just nice, smooth transitioning. There wasn't anything that was like choppy. There weren't any gapping holes in the film. You're not going to be left tired. There's nothing more drastic than feeling tired after a film, and you definitely didn't feel tired. You're not begging for the end of the movie. You're just taking it one scene at a time. There was a particular song in the movie that I liked a lot. I think it was Cloudy Day. That was a good film. That was sorry, take that back and go. There was a song in the film that was played toward the end for the wrap up by Tones and I, Cloudy Day. Perfect song to drive home that monumental moment in which they are coming to the climax of the film. And I'm really big on that. Picking the right music for the right scene, it does make a difference in filming. It does make a difference in visual execution, cinematic executing. That vision and execution, directing was pretty well. There were moments in which I'm really big in connection with observing ad-libs. So they ad-libbed very well, and we can definitely thank the director for that. Nice in that regard. Very, very nice in that regard. And then now, what is it about this movie that stands out? What is the it factor that stands out in this film? Honestly, guys, when you come into a film, right, and obviously it's a kid's film, but there's still going to be more adult-like storytelling because kids can't comprehend everything, and the kids' film stands out It's not something that I wouldn't take my nephew to see, or a young person, a young kid to see. But what stands out in this particular film is the essence, or the idea that ducks are afraid to migrate. That the papa duck, right? This papa, who is the male of the family, is depicted as the one who's afraid. Whereas commonly you'll see mom having issues of letting go, mom having issues of not wanting to go. But the story drove that much better because of the fact that dad was the one who was apprehensive. And you see that apprehension in the beginning of the film. Towards the 35-minute mark, dad is starting to grow a little bit. Towards the 45-minute mark, dad is taking action with this growth. So it was a coming of age story, and you don't want that to be missed. Other than that, though, it was a good film. I do encourage you guys to see it. I would say that this is a movie that I recommend that you see, because if you are someone who can connect with it because you have children, or because you're a family man, or even someone that's a girlfriend or boyfriend or wife, that family dynamic, if you're big on family, then it's going to be a movie that really stirs the heart, leaves you feeling good after the theater, and it's going to make you feel overall good about yourself, because that's what a movie should do. You should feel good after seeing the movie, or feel some type of emotional effect from seeing this film. And if you didn't or don't have this effect, then it's not going to do much for you. Other than that, guys, check out the next video where we weigh the Family Plan starring Mark Wahlberg on the cinema scale. Other than that, guys, love you as always. Peace out.